Okay, good morning everyone. Our topic for today is all about the Bloom's taxonomy. So, before that, who is the proponent of this Bloom taxonomy? So, the proponent is Benjamin Bloom. So, who is Benjamin Bloom? So, it says here that he was an American educational psychologist who made contributions to the classification of educational objectives and to the theory of mastery learning. So, it says here that who made contribution to the classification of educational objectives. So, thanks to Benjamin Blooms, that is why we are guided upon creating our lesson plan or particularly in our learning objectives. Dahil sa kanya, meron tayong nilalagay sa ating learning objectives na cognitive rather, affective, and psychomotor. So thanks to Benjamin Bloom, so we are guided as a future teachers upon creating our lesson plans or our learning objectives. And he was notable or kilala siya sa idea na Bloom's taxonomy, Bloom's two sigma problem, and mastery learning. Okay? So what is the background of this Bloom taxonomy? So this Bloom's taxonomy was created in 1948 by a psychologist, like what I've said, Benjamin Bloom and his several colleagues. And it was originally developed in 1956 as a method classifying educational goals for student performance evaluation. And then lastly, Bloom taxonomy has been revised in 1990, then in 2001, and still utilized in the field of education today. Okay? So, later on, we will be discussing kung ano ba yung na-revise o ano ba yung old na Bloom taxonomy into the new Bloom taxonomy or the revised Bloom taxonomy. Okay. So, the original intent in creating the taxonomy was to focus on the three major domain of learning wherein the cognitive, affective, and the psychomotor. So, it's like what I've said, when we are upon creating our learning objectives, we are guided by these three major domains wherein we have the cognitive, we have the affective, and the psychomotor. Okay? So, despite the creator's intent to address all the three domains, Bloom's taxonomy applies only acquiring knowledge in the cognitive domain, which involves intellectual skills development. So, naka-more on focus tayo or naka-more on focus din pala si Benjamin Bloom sa ating cognitive domain. And mamaya mapapag-aralan natin yon. So, original Bloom's taxonomy content 6 developmental categories. So, ano ba yon? Meron tayong knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. And later on, mapapag-aralan natin yung mga develop. So, mapapag-aralan natin yung mga categories na yon. Okay? So, meron tayo dito ng 3 domains wherein we have the cognitive, affective, and this psychomotor domain. So, ano bang nakapaloob sa ating mga domains na ito? So, when we say cognitive domain, so, it is a mode of learning here is the thought, thinking, because it has something to do with our brain. It has something to do with our thinking. So, mode of learning is thought, thinking, and the example abilities of this are memorizing, reasoning, and so on. And when we say affective naman, it has something to do on what our student feel. So, it focuses on emotions, feelings, and the example abilities is appreciation and motivation, and so on. And lastly is we have the psychomotor domain. So, psychomotor domain naman, it has something to do with creation naman. So, it has something to do with creation. So, meron tayo ditong actions, doing, and the example of abilities is typing, playing, creating, and so on and so forth. Okay? Okay. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, wherein meron tayong 3H para mas malaman pa natin yung affective and cognitive and the psychomotor. So, sa cognitive, meron tayong head. Sa affective, meron tayong heart and psychomotor sa ating hand. So, basically, when we say cognitive, it has something to do with our brain. Nasa head natin. So, it has something to do with our brain. When we say affective naman, it has something to do with our heart, on what we feel, on what our students feel, on what are their emotions, and psychomotor naman is it has something to do with our hand. So hand, it is our creation, creating. So yun yung mga nakapaloob para mas malaman pa natin yung ating three domains. Okay, so andito na tayo sa Bloom's Taxonomy. So meron tayo ditong 1956 na Bloom Taxonomy, pero ito yung original, and ito yung na-revise sa 2001. So ito na yung na-revise na Bloom's Taxonomy. So, noun siya dati, ginawa siyang into a verb form. So before, the highest level is we have the evaluation. So dito naman is sa revise, meron tayong create. So knowledge yung pinakauna, remember naman dito sa ating revise, and comprehension, naging understand siya, application, naging apply, analysis, naging analyze, synthesis, naging evaluate, and ito yung sa pinagpalit sa taas at saka sa baba, wherein sa revise, evaluation, yung pinaka-highest, dito naman sa revise, o yung old, rather, is evaluation, dito naman sa revise is yung create. Okay? So, revised Bloom taxonomy in the new taxonomy has a two dimension that are presented, wherein we have the knowledge dimension and the cognitive dimension. And there are 4 levels on the knowledge dimension, wherein we have the factual, conceptual, procedural, and metacognitive. So, alam naman natin when we say metacognitive, it is the thinking about thinking. Okay? So, lastly, there are 6 levels on the cognitive process dimension, wherein we have the remembering, understanding, applying, analysis, evaluating, and creating. So, ito yung mga 6 levels sa ating mga cognitive process dimensions. Okay, so pag-aralan natin itong mga nakapaloob sa ating Bloom's taxonomy. So, recall, or sa ating sinasabi na remember. So, remember, we are recalling. So, sa lesson plan, meron tayong remember, right? Remembering meaning we are recalling the past lessons. We are recalling our past lessons to connect sa ating new topic. So that is remember. Understand naman. So understand, it is the explain ideas and concepts. So we are trying our best for our student to understand the lesson o yung itong lesson natin. And sa apply, ito naman yung use information in a new situation. So they can now apply what they have understand sa ating lesson naman. So, now, meron tayo analyze wherein it draw connections among ideas. So, they can now analyze, they can now compare and contrast sa ibang lessons naman natin or kung ano na yung naintindihan nila sa ating lesson. And evaluate naman is to justify a stand and decision. So, they can now evaluate, or the teacher can evaluate the student performance or the student activities. And to create naman is so upon understanding, upon applying and analyze, they can now create. For example mo, yung topic mo, it's all about sport writing. So, they can now create a sport or their own sport writing upon sa mga na-understand nila or sa mga natutunan nila, sa mga na-apply, sa mga na-analyze nila, and so, sa ating mga na-evaluate. So, makakagawa na sila ng sport writing, sarili nilang sport writing. So, ito yung mga nakapaloob sa ating Bloom's taxonomy. So, diinan pa natin kung ano ang mga ito. Okay? So, knowledge or remembering. So, when we say knowledge or remembering, it is the ability to recall data or information. So, we are recalling data. For example, sa pagtuturo natin, di ba? We are recalling the past lesson that we had sa ating new topic para maging konektado siya. So, remembering it para mas hindi nila makalimutan yung past lesson nila at i-connecta naman natin ito sa ating lesson ngayon. Okay? Next one is the comprehension or understanding. So, it is defined as the ability to grasp the meaning of material. So, understanding naman, so, it is now the understanding of our student para mas maintindihan nila kung ano yung lesson natin. So, how our student grasp the information for them to understand our lesson. Okay? So, application or applying naman, it is the referred to the ability to use learned materials in new and concrete situations. So, upon understanding, now they can now apply. For example, yung topic mo is all about sport writing. Pag naintindihan na nila yung sport writing, so they can now apply. So, alam na nila kung i-identify yung mga introduction, body, and conclusion natin. So, pwede na nilang i-apply. Okay? So, next one naman is the analysis or analyzing. So, at this point, they begin understanding the underlying structure to knowledge and also are able to distinguish between fact and an opinion. So, at this point, they can now compare and contrast. For example, yung example natin kanina na sport writing, they can now compare and contrast the sport writing into the different type of journalistic text. Like, for example, news writing and feature writing. So, kaya na nilang i-compare and contrast yung mga types of journalistic text na yun sa lesson ninyo. Okay? Next one is the evaluation or evaluating. It says here the evaluation level is where students make judgment about the value of ideas, items, materials, and more. So, dito naman, they can now evaluate their own learning. So, yung own activity nila. And as a teacher, you can now evaluate the activity of the student. If tama ba yung ginagawa nila or if there is still an improvement ba. And synthesis naman or creating, ito naman yung ability to combine different component elements into a form of whole. So, dito naman nakapaloob yung ating creation. So, gagawa naman na sila. So, from the word itself, creating. Like, for example, yung sport writing na example natin kanina, they can now create or compose their own sport writing. So, meron ng creation. So, nagsimula tayo from the basics wherein the remembering to the complex wherein meron na tayong synthesis or creating. So, nagsimula tayo sa basic hanggang sa mahirap. Okay? Okay naman. These are the things naman that we can consider upon creating our cognitive domain. Wherein meron tayo nitong knowledge, wherein define, identify, pwede natin gamit itong mga words na to like describe, recognize, tell, explain, recite, memorize, illustrate, and code. So, understand naman is to summarize, interpret, classify, compare, contrast, infer, relate, extract, paraphrase, cite. Supply naman, we have solve, change, relate, complete, use, sketch, teach, articulate, discover, and transfer. So, analyze naman, we have the contrast, connect, relate, devise, correlate, illustrate, distill, conclude, categorize, take part. And the evaluate naman, we have the criticize, reframe, judge, defend, appraise, value, prioritize, plan, guide, and refrain. And we have the create, design, modify, role play, develop, rewrite, pivot, modifying, and collaborate. So these action verbs these are the things that we can consider upon creating our learning objectives and our cognitive domain or particularly upon creating our learning objectives. So next na one is the affective domain. So as like what I've said a while back, affective domain, it has something to do with our heart. So it has something to do with our emotions, feelings, values, motivation, and attitudes. So meron naman tayo ditong receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and internalizing values. So ito naman kung paano natin mamomotivate yung ating student para mas maganda yung learning nila sa ating discussions. So, kung ano yung mga emotions nila towards sa pinapag-aralan natin. So, affective domain. Okay, next naman is the psychomotor domain. So, meron naman yung reflex, movement, basic movements, perceptual abilities, physical abilities, skill movements, and non-discursive communication. So, psychomotor naman kanina, like what I've said a while back, it has something to do with our hand. So, meron tayo dito na pumapasok yung ating creation naman. Okay? So that ito yung psychomotor natin. Like for example, dun sa ating sport writing, for example, sa psychomotor natin, ilalagay natin sa learning objectives na they can now compose their own sport writing. Okay? Yun yung psychomotor domain natin. So, ito naman yung um, pagkakaiba ng ating domain. Where in cognitive, meron tayo dito yung create, evaluate, analyze, apply, understand, and remember. Sa affective naman is characterized by values, organizing, conceptualizing, valuing, responding, and receiving. And psychomotor naman is the naturalization, articulation, precision, manipulation, and imitation. Okay? So, that yung pagkakaiba ng ating three domains. So, ano naman yung mga educational implication naman? So, it is used across grade levels and the content areas. So, thanks to Bloom, where we are using upon creating our learning objectives, wherein ginagamit natin siya before and up until now. So, ginagamit natin ito to create our learning objectives para mas we are guided throughout our lesson. And then, using Bloom's taxonomy in the classroom, teacher can assess student on multiple learning outcomes that are aligned to the local, state, and national standard and objectives. So, upon using Bloom's taxonomy, we, future teacher and the teachers can now assess the student multiple learning outcomes. So, may natutunan ba sila? Ito ba yung response nila? Nakakapag-recite ba sila? So, effective ba yung ginawa kong strategies sa aking pagtuturo? So, ayan. So, thanks to Bloom. And within each level of taxonomy, there are various tasks that move student through the thought process. Okay, so process by process yan. Like for example, magpapa-recite ka, magpapa-short activity ka, and magpapa-assignments. So process by process yan. So nagsisimula tayo sa easy to a complex one. Okay, so for teacher, Bloom taxonomy help to develop lesson plans. It's like what I've said a while back, thanks to Bloom, because now we can now create our learning outcomes, or we are now guided to create our learning outcomes based on the idea of the Bloom taxonomy, or the idea of Bloom. Okay, list of action verbs of Bloom taxonomy helps to write learning design in the language that focuses in each level. So we can now use the verbs of Bloom taxonomy to help write our learning objectives to have a quality education sa ating pagsusulat ng ating lesson plans. Okay? Okay, so that would be all, and I hope that naintindihan natin yung lesson natin sa ating Bloom taxonomy. And thank you everyone.